Since we talk about your company and how you run it, I was wondering if there are times within that setup that you are feeling alone.
Yeah, I think not necessarily alone on a personal level, but alone on a professional level, I would say all the time. Because what happens when you run a company, the biggest difference from just working a regular job is that the responsibility ends with you. There's no boss, no manager that you can message and say, hey, can you take care of this for me? If you're on vacation, you do not have a replacement for your vacation. You do not have an out of office notice saying, hey, I'm back in 2 weeks, message me then. And so in that sense, it's very lonely because there's no one that you can truly rely on. There's people that you can rely on for support, family, support network, partners. But when it comes to just plain old responsibilities in running a business or fulfilling a job, you're where it stops. Yeah, the results, the challenges, any problems in the business, you're going to be responsible for. And then it doesn't matter whether you're in Japan or vacation or really stressed, close to burnout, whatever, you're going to have to take care of it. And that's a feeling that's very hard to share with someone else, right? I can tell my partner, my girlfriend, I can tell her what I'm feeling, but in the end, there's nothing that she can do, right? And there's nothing that my team can do. And there's no one else. There's no boss that I could give this responsibility to. So yeah, it's a lonely journey in terms of just responsibility and risk to some degree as well. I don't necessarily think it's lonely in terms of companionship, because there's a lot of other founders out there. There's communities, there's people that can relate to you. There's just no one that can actually help you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'd like to ask you if you can share a story, if there is something safe that you can share where you had to deal with the problem yourself and fix it, and how you felt about it.
Yeah. There's one story that I can share because it's been many years that I kind of credit with being one of the more traumatic episodes of running a business. But I think it's also one of those stories that nowadays I look back at it and said, if I can deal with this, I can deal with anything. So I built a lot of mental resilience as well. And looking back, it doesn't sound as dramatic, but we run a marketplace. So we take in people's money, we process it, we send it out to other people. Obviously, it started growing over the years. And I've been doing it for 1 or 2 years, so it was still a part-time job at this moment, or a side project at the end of the day. But the kind of money amounts that were flowing through were starting getting quite substantial. And so I believe we had something like $75,000 in a bank account, and I was like getting ready to get to work. I had my customer supporter working for me, and suddenly we're getting all these emails, and the emails said our bank account is getting blocked. $75,000 in a bank account, and it got frozen. There's a need for more verification, whatever, all these financial processes that are around. But under the line is going to be $75,000 blocked in a bank account, cannot be paid out to our mentors, our partners on the platform. So essentially, I'm waking up. I need to get to work in like half an hour, but the realistic scenario is $75,000 owed to other people that I cannot access, and I need to find a solution now. And so that's what I was talking about in terms of you do not have a replacement or someone that can take care of these things for you. This was me trying to get to work in an hour, and I needed to get that money. I needed to get that frozen bank account unlocked somehow. And so those are the difficult decisions where I actually had to call into work. Luckily, at that point, they were kind of aware of my side project, so I was never secret about it. But I basically told him I cannot come to work right now. Like, I have a very bad clash and I need to work this out. And I spent 2 full days on the phone with both our own bank and also other banks. And dealing with banks is probably one of the most annoying aspects of running a business, because a lot of things are digital right now. A lot of things are easy to solve, but banks are not. Banks are very much still either call me on the phone or come by in person and sign a paper and do stuff like that. And so that felt like a bit of an adventure where I had this looming threat over my head of just a lot of money that's gone or in debt or whatever's happening to it. And the only solution to it was I need to like find a way to either get that money or get some other money and get people paid. And so I spent days on the phone with banks, with payment providers. I went to actual bank branches in person. I was like, can you help me? Can you set this up? And so that felt like one of the more drastic moments where I actually had to, first of all, to let go of a lot of other responsibilities that I still had at the time. Basically, that was something that impacted my day job, but that would be something that would impact my work with MentorCruise at this time as well. And I had to travel around. I had to do whatever is necessary to get this solved. And for 2 full days, I didn't know whether I would have a company in, a couple of hours. That would have just taken one of our mentors, one of our partners to inquire and say, why is my money a couple of days late? And it could have ended pretty badly, right? We could have ceased to exist as a company if things went super wrong. If that money was gone forever, if that money wasn't recoverable for whatever reason, that would have been very bad for me personally, but also obviously the company would basically be done at this point. And so stakes extremely high, literally life of the company, no one else to help you. You can reach out to other people for help, for introductions, for that kind of stuff, but the responsibility is with me, and immense time pressure. In the end, we got it solved. We both got the account unblocked. They were no longer ready to kind of work with us just because they didn't support our like marketplace thing, but they unblocked our money and we found a different payment provider that we were able to work with, that we actually still work with to this day. And so everything got solved, but that was a 48-hour period where it wasn't clear whether the business would still exist after those 48 hours. So yeah, nowadays I look back at it, I'm like, if I can survive this, if I can solve this, I can probably solve anything. But at the time, it wasn't that funny.
Survive this.
Yeah.
Like if your heart didn't stop working.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, what was happening with your customer support person? Were there inquiries and questions already?
I don't actually remember. I was more scared about like this dragging on for a month or so. In the end, I'm very happy that we got it solved after 2 days. There might have been an inquiry or two, and then it's pretty easy to say, hey, there's a delay. There's something that we need to do. But obviously, the longer it goes on, the more difficult it gets. And in the end, that's money owed, and that's money that we need to give to people. So it was something that needed to get solved one way or another. But yeah, got out of it in the end, more or less unscathed, a bit of high pulse, a bit of trauma and whatnot to do in the future. But in the end, it got solved all well.